we have attorney Joaquin Jimenez with us, and we're going to talk a little bit about his personal life and his business life. So, welcome, Attorney Jimenez.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Attorney Jimenez is licensed to practice law here in the state of Texas. He obtained his law degree in 2007 from Texas College of Law. Attorney Joaquin Jimenez began his legal practice as a criminal attorney. After a few years, the firm extended his practice to represent personal injury cases. He's a member of the Texas Criminal Defense Lawyers Association, Harris County Criminal Lawyers Association, Mexican American Bar Association of Houston, and Hispanic Bar Association of Houston. Mr. Jimenez, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So share a little bit something about yourself that a lot of people don't know.
Well, what comes off the top of my head is that most people think that I've been a lawyer my whole career. But the truth is, this is my second career. My
Wow.
first career, I worked in chemical plants. I was a lab technician where I worked rotating shift and straight days for 18 years until I decided to go to law school.
Awesome, awesome. So yeah, that's something that is pretty, like completely different from what you're doing now, right?
It's like night and day. It's way, way different. A lot of people, when I tell them the story about what I did and when I did it, they're just they think I was crazy when I went to law school.
Right, and now it's like it's a totally different perspective, right?
Right now, everybody says, "Wow, it was the right decision."
Absolutely, absolutely. So, do you have a business quote, or I'm sorry, a success quote that that you would like to share with the people, with the audience?
Well, the only thing that I can think of about success and any kind of successful quote is a stereotypical quote. I mean, the expression that everyone says that if you fail, I mean, never give up. You know, try again. So, during this 12 years of practice that I've been in, I've had to adjust my business models so that I could change the way this business works.
Oh, okay, good, good. Yeah, and that's how it is. You gotta keep trying. You gotta keep trying. It's not how many times you fall, right? But
Right.
how many you get up.
How many times you get up, and you got to keep getting up.
Exactly, exactly. Now, speaking of that, I know that everybody has obstacles, and all businesses have ups and downs. And tell us a little bit about a business failure that you've had in the past.
Well, when I first started back in 2007, I initially was doing criminal defense and personal injury. Well, the personal injury business at the time, I was not as adept at that as I was at the criminal law. So what I did, I wound up sending some of those cases off to other people. In the meantime, I started learning how to run these cases, and when I eventually felt comfortable enough to handle the personal injury cases, then that's when I had that practice back into my practice instead of sending the cases out.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so that was it was just kind of like getting your feet wet, getting started, and then eventually.
Right, and I was a little nervous about when I'm dealing with people that are hurt. And I wanted to make sure that they had the best representation. So until I felt comfortable, which we're very comfortable in helping people, up until then I was not comfortable in doing those cases. But now we're 100% behind the personal injury business.
Good, good. And how does that affect your reputation when you? I mean, because you're basically depending on somebody else to do a good job, right? In the beginning.
Right.
To make sure they take care of your cases, which are basically your clients, right?
Right. So what I do on those cases, I make sure that the client knows who's going to take care of them, but I also let them know that I'm watching, and that at any moment, if they feel uncomfortable or they feel that something's wrong, they need to let me know, because my reputation is also at stake. My name is on that file, whether or not I'm working it or someone else is working it. If I brought that case in, my name is on it. So because of that, I take a lot of responsibility with it, and I let my clients know that at the moment that they feel uncomfortable, to let me know, because I will straighten it out.
Got it. Okay. And well, now that you don't have to worry about that, because now you're at first hand on on all the cases that you have. So it's a completely different game, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So are you working at on a new project, or you got something going on at this time?
Actually, I do. It's in the infant stages. What we are doing is we are exploring opportunities down in the valley.
Oh wow.
I went down to Brownsville last week and looked at some property. I'm considering moving my personal injury, at least having a satellite office for personal injury down in the valley. Right now, I'm looking at Brownsville,
Okay.
but it could be Harlingen, it could be McAllen.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. So is that just something that you just want to do, or is there like a big need for PI?
Well, there is a need. The other thing that I find that is needed down in the valley is personal injury cases are being attended to by people from all over the state. There's not enough lawyers down there to handle those cases.
Okay,
So at this point in time, I think I'm going to take a shot and see how I can help people down in the Rio Grande Valley.
good. Well, good luck with that. I'm sure it's gonna do well, like you're doing here in Houston. Do you have a great entrepreneurial moment that you would like to share with us?
Well, we've had a lot of success in the 12 years that I've been practicing. A lot of it because I have a lot of trials, a lot of criminal trials. On the criminal side, I've helped many people, but in one particular case, it was a gentleman who happened to work he was a first responder, let me just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he was accused of assaulting his wife.
Oh, wow.
And in this case was a very delicate case because the state of Texas did not want to drop anything. They did not want to let him go, even though I explained to him that he did not assault his wife.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, we wound up having to go to trial, and after a 2-day trial, the jury came back and gave my client his life back by finding him not guilty.
Wow.
And to me, that was the greatest moment that I've experienced because his whole career was hanging on the line, and fortunately, I was able to help him.
Wow, that's got to be very fulfilling to be able to basically change somebody's life, because it could be all lost, right?
Exactly. In the cases that I deal with, sometimes, believe it or not, people are wrongfully accused.
Mm-hmm.
And other times they're rightfully accused, but you know what? The punishment doesn't fit. This particular incident should not be punished, at least in my opinion. So, based on the case, based on the details, we determine how to strategize whether we're going to trial or trying to get the case dismissed.
Got it. Yeah, and sometimes you have to go through the issues of when you're defending somebody that's accused of some kind of domestic violence or anything like that. You're also being looked at as somebody that's trying to defend a criminal, whereas he's not. They're already basically accusing him when he hasn't been.
Right. I find that all the time.
Right.
People, they ask me, how can you defend criminals? And I said, well, wait a minute. I explained to them, I said, look, obviously sometimes people do break the law. Okay?
Right.
But every now and then, I get clients that are actually innocent, like they didn't do anything.
Right.
So the phrase that a lot of lawyers use is that people always hate lawyers. They always talk about lawyers until they need one.
Exactly.
It's happened where I've seen somebody that's always been critical about defendants or people or criminals, as they
Right.
say, but whenever their son gets in trouble or their wife gets in trouble, then all of a sudden,
buddy.
then all of a sudden I'm their friend, and all of a sudden people are wrongfully accused. But it's okay. I mean, I understand.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to have that neutral zone, even though that it could also affect your emotions at certain time. You still have to be neutral when it comes to things like that, in cases like that.
That's right.
Okay, good. Well, is there a book or something that you have that you would like to recommend or share with?
Well, actually, another thing people don't know about me, I really don't read a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I read a lot in law school, and I've read since then. I said, but actually, recreational reading, I don't do.
Okay.
What I do is I listen to podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
and especially like when I'm at the YMCA, on the treadmill, or if I'm in my car,
Got it.
I listen to just podcasts that are on current events or perhaps on cases or on legal issues that
Mhm.
are interesting to me.
Good. Yeah, I'm also a podcaster. I like to do that when I'm at the gym or doing things things like that.
I feel like I'm reading even though I'm not, so it kind of satisfies that urge.
Yeah, and at the same time, you're actually maximizing your time because you're doing two things at the same time.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to.
That's right, and time is worth a lot more than anything that we have. Is there an advice that you'd like to give?
The only thing that I can advise if someone is starting their own practice, or if someone needs a lawyer, don't be afraid to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Call the lawyer and ask for a consultation. Get your questions answered, especially if you're in a car wreck, because and you're trying to decide whether or not you need a lawyer. Keep in mind, the insurance companies, they have lawyers, and they always have lawyers. They're never going to handle the case without a lawyer.
Right.
So if the insurance companies have a lawyer, it's in your best interest to have a lawyer as well. So at least reach out, call us, and we'll be happy to sit down and talk to you about all of your rights and benefits.
Awesome, great. Well, you heard it from Attorney Jimenez, and if you do need his help, we'll have a number available for you so you can call him. All right. Well, thank you for being here with us, Attorney Jimenez, and thank you for everything.
Thanks for having me on again.